If someone were to ask me, so what do you do? I'd say, well, I'm a CPA, but I'm also an information technology auditor, which means I work with clients, computer systems, security, data analysis. What that means is basically I work with companies to help secure their systems. It's a lot of pushing information around. 99% of the world would not understand what it's about. We became acquainted with the church 22 years ago at the invitation of a friend, and really found that we loved the church, the informal style, but yet the very fundamental message. Early on, the invitation was to get involved in the church, and I did in different ways. Small groups, retreats, men's groups. I've been a small group leader for many, many years now. There was even one year where I was one of the three wise men in a Christmas play. As I look back, though, I tried a lot of different things, and I gave it a season to see if I liked it, but nothing really grabbed my heart. 6 years ago, I had the opportunity to go down to the MC3 building and help out. And what I found down there was a group of guys and gals that were building things, that were constructing things, that were working with cool tools. And I thought, gosh, that's kind of interesting to me. I've done a little remodeling in my own basement, so can I come back? And they said, sure, we do it every Saturday. So I started coming every Saturday and found that I just absolutely fell in love with construction. Here, I'm a CPA, and I'm doing construction on Saturday. I'm getting dirty, I'm getting sweaty, I'm building things. It started out just pulling nails out of boards, and then it was putting boards together, and then building walls, putting in framing, putting in windows, putting in flooring, creating a ceiling, painting, just building. I have an opportunity now when you're in construction or when you're demolishing something, you can say, I got that done, as opposed to say, I just pushed some information to someone else to read. You can look back on it, you can point to it and say, you know what, I built that wall, or I installed that light fixture. So I got a lot of satisfaction out of that. So as you work with the people week after week, you get to know them, you find out who are the people who can train you about things, who are the people that you can train how to do different things they've never done before, and you develop relationships. You find out about their family, you find out why they came to the church. You have an opportunity to share your life with them. We did the MC3 remodeling, all those buildings, and then had the great opportunity to build the Veterans Center. It was 4 years ago that Judge Miller had the idea of building a dormitory for homeless veterans. And he toured MC3 and saw what we'd built and said, hey, how would you like to build a dormitory for me? This is a great opportunity. He bought a building, a 5,000 square foot building. We totally emptied that building, took out all the infrastructure, and started with just the brick structure. What's really cool then is after they're into the facility and you go and visit and they say, come on in, we want to show you our building. And I'm thinking, gosh, I've seen this building in shapes that they've never seen, but they wanted to show it to me in terms of, here's how we've decorated it, here's how we moved our stuff in, here's our home. And that really is a great deal of satisfaction when you realize the fruits of your labor go to somebody who now can call it the home. During the Veterans Center, I also had the opportunity to use some of my skills as a CPA. I took on the role of the volunteer coordinator, so I kept track of everybody. I kept track of the hours because we had to report that to the Veterans Administration. And in doing that, I found that I got to know everybody on the team. I would be the guy to be sending out invitations. I'd be the guy to be calling up people. And what I realized then is there's so much of this opportunity is about not just building buildings, it's building relationships. It's really about connecting with people and finding out what's going on in their life. What are the troubles, what are the joys that are going on in their life, sharing your life with somebody else. And so I built a lot of relationships in that manner. Also in the last year, we had a unique opportunity. The South Bend Community Work Center release program called us and said they had prisoners to work with us. I'm a CPA. I have not worked with people who've been in jail for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But it turned out to be a real blessing because these guys are hard workers. They appreciate being out on Saturday to work with us. Most of all, they appreciate just being treated as human beings, being given the dignity of building something, being appreciated for it, and we've gotten to know these guys really well. It's been a win for the buildings, for the community. It's a win for them in terms of developing, rehabbing. It's a win for me in terms of feeling like I'm really encouraging somebody along the way. It just started out as getting involved. And then it got to be exercise, and then it got to be building things, and then it got to be building different types of buildings. But when I look at really the building of the relationships, working with new people coming into the church to say, how can I get involved? Working with prisoners that are saying, how can I come back into the community? I look forward to it every Saturday. Every Saturday we work down at Carpenter's Hands. And that, to me, that's the highlight of the week for me.